your girl Nye here, coming to you with another video about our Egypt adventure. Check it out. Okay, to start out with, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you like this video, if you like the content, please support my channel. Thank you so much. Okay, well, to start off with, Egypt was such a fantastic experience. I will never forget it. It was almost like that surreal type of experience. My mom and I, we went to Egypt about 2 years ago. I think it was in February 2018 to be exact. We went. It was a kind of like a belated birthday present for me because my birthday's in January, and at the time we didn't celebrate my birthday. So she was like, you know what? I'm gonna surprise her with a trip to Egypt. And she came in my room one night and she was like, Niger, we are going to Egypt. And I just fell out because that has been like a place that I've always wanted to visit. Probably a place that's definitely was on my bucket list. I always wanted to visit Egypt and see kind of what the Egyptian culture is about and see like the wonderful monuments and everything about Egypt. Of course, seeing like the mummy movies, even though they're not historically correct, they're good for Hollywood purposes, but seeing those movies, and it was just an awesome experience. So we went to Egypt. We were all excited. We had like so much fun preparing and packing. My mom, especially when I was younger, she did a lot of studies on Egypt and Egyptology. So like I saw a lot of pictures and I couldn't believe that I was there. My mom, she was floored when we arrived at the airport. And I will never forget our driver. He was really sweet. His name, I think, was Maggie. I think that was our driver's name, Maggie. So shout out to Maggie. He was so awesome. And he, on our route to our hotel, we saw the pyramids, the outline of the pyramids, because we arrived at night. So we saw the outline of the pyramids, and the pyramids were just larger than life. Even from the car that we were driving in, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're here and we're gonna actually see them. So anyway, fast forward, we arrived at our hotel, and then the next day, because we took a tour called Timeless Tours, and I would suggest Timeless Tours to anybody. And our tour guide, Peter, shout out to Peter, he was awesome. He was a really good tour guide. He showed us so many nice things. And and when we arrived at the hotel, we got up the next morning, and that's when we started on our tour. And I'd have to tell you, we saw, the Valley of the Kings. We saw from the pyramids of Giza to the Luxor Temple to the Temple of I think it's Philae. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Philae, and it was awesome. And what was so cool about seeing these different places is, hope I don't get any backlash for this, but it's public knowledge now. Really, Egyptians have been depicted as Caucasian people when clearly Egyptian people were people of color. And it was really apparent seeing the different hieroglyphics, seeing the different statues, and it was very apparent that they were people of color. And what was so interesting is on some of the statues, we noticed that a lot of times they either chipped off, the lips were chipped away, or the noses were chipped away. I was like, that's kind of interesting. I'll leave it up for you viewers to kind of, get the meaning behind that. But I think it was to kind of the features of a person of color they wanted to strip away. But anyway, that's another tale for another time, people. Another tale for another time. But when we arrived in Egypt on our tour, we met a lot of cool people and different different cultures, and that was kind of cool to see. But what was so interesting is I noticed that a lot of the tours and the people that were around, there were not a lot of black people, which was kind of interesting. Mostly Asians, Middle Easterns, and of course Caucasians. And our tour guide, personally, my mom and I were the only black people on that tour. Other people were Asian, white, and I thought that was kind of interesting. We met a couple of wonderful black ladies. They were really cool, and but that was about it. We really didn't see a lot of black people on the tour, so that was kind of interesting. But anyway, I digress. So when we were, going through Egypt and everything, we also took a trip to Nessawam, or Asawam. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's the place where a lot of Nubians are. And I'd have to say that was the coolest experience, because it's so funny when you travel, you get to see different things that you wouldn't see normally if you didn't travel. These people were way darker than my mom, and my mom is a dark-skinned woman, and it just really shows that we are all over the world. We really are, and so many places are places that have melanated people in it. And when we were there, of course, the Egyptians, that are in Cairo and the main places, they are lighter because they have a lot of Arab blood in them. But the places such as Asawam that have Nubians in it, those are people of color. They really are. Those are people of color. And we met a really cool Nubian lady that she just really took a shine to me and my mom, and she invited us in to her house. And oh my gosh, her house, I swear to you, her house was like something that you would see on a set somewhere. The way she had it decorated, the way it was laid out, it was so creative. That's why we had to take a video of her home, and she allowed us to, and she was so sweet, she was so warm. I think her name was Asma. I can't believe I'm remembering all this stuff, because this was darn near 2 years ago. Her name was Asma, and she was just so wonderful to us. And we met her on a Nubian dinner. We had dinner at a Nubian home, and I have to say, the Nubian dinner, it was cool. Kind of the food was a little under seasoned for my taste, but it was really, really awesome. And the women that hosted us, they were really awesome, that hosted our tour group. And it was pretty cool. We even went to another spot around the Nubian city it was so full of life, and it was at night, so you saw all the vividness of it. And another place, it looked like a set of a movie. It was so beautiful, and seeing all of these melanated people. We even saw a Rasta guy that moves there, and that was pretty cool. And I swear to you, we saw a guy that looked like Marvin Gaye. He looked just like Marvin Gaye, and I was like, okay, did Marvin Gaye come back or something? It was really, really awesome. And I liked the vibe. It was really nice. It was really pretty. They were very welcoming, and it was kind of funny because the Egyptian people, it was almost like they were welcoming, welcoming you home, I guess you'd say, in a way. I have to say, the people were very welcoming and very warm, and I really feel that Egyptian people know that the ancestors that were there were people of color, because when we were coming out of the Valley of the Kings, and these Egyptian school kids were there, and I swear to you, they treated my mom like she was Beyonce and I was Rihanna. They were just swarming us. They were all surrounded by us. They were really cute, by the way. They were surrounding us, wanting pictures. They're like, please, can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? And I noticed that they weren't doing that with the other people on our tour guide. They were just doing it with me and my mom. And we were like, what is this? But they were just in awe of me and my mother. And we asked Peter, our tour guide, why is that? And he said, it's because of your color. And we were like, what? You know, there are like Nubians here that are dark-skinned people. And but he was like, no, it's because of your color. And I found that very fascinating. I found that interesting. And I'd have to say, you know, from my personal experience, the people that we came across, the natives of Egypt, they were very nice. There was just one guy that he worked for the tour place that we went through, Timeless Tours, that picked us up from the airport. He wasn't so nice. He was kind of a little bit of a prick. But he was the only Egyptian that was like that. To our driver, to the natives that we met, they were really nice. They really were. It was almost like they even gave me and my mother special treatment, I guess you'd say, in a way. And that part was really interesting, I'd have to say. But on here I have like different mementos when we were here, like our different like tickets of when we went in to Abu Simbel and Valley.
Abu Simbel.
Bell and Valley of the Kings, and it was just really awesome. Philae Temple, I have to say Philae Temple was probably my favorite. There was something about Philae Temple when we had to take a boat ride there, and it was just so beautiful. It really was. There was something about Philae Temple that was different for me, but all the temples were just absolutely amazing. And we also took a cruise down the Nile River as well, and the cruise was it was awesome.
This is on the upper deck of the cruise ship. We're still traveling down the Nile River with a companion ship at our side. It's beautiful up here. It's cold though. It's a little windy. Who says it never gets cold in Africa?
It really was. And the boat that we were on, it was something that I will personally never forget. I will never forget. And we also went to the spa. And I have to say, the spa was an interesting experience because I have never gotten my feet a pedicure done by fish. Okay? And I know you guys are like, what? Fish? Yes, fish. They use fish. They put your feet in like an aquarium full of fish, these little bitty fish that eat like the scuff off your foot, kind of like almost like when you go to the people who give you a pedicure, almost kind of like a scuffing of your feet. They do it for you. They take off the dead skin. And oh my gosh, it was like so weird feeling that, like on your feet and everything. I was like, whoa, oh my gosh. I was just like, it was a cool feeling though. It didn't hurt or anything like that. It was just kind of ticklish the way they would like go at your feet, but that was so cool. And we got a massage and that was just much needed. Okay, it was much needed. I was like, okay, I can dig this. I can dig this. Now for the food of Egypt, we went to a Egyptian buffet. And the Egyptian buffet, the food was okay. They have a lot of like vegetables, rice, beans in their diet from what you could see. And the food was pretty good. They use a certain type of, I don't know if it's like a spice or in the food that kind of gives it maybe like a little bit of a sour taste. I don't know what that's like, but the food was pretty okay. They have KFC there too, and McDonald's, by the way. I was like, wow, KFC and McDonald's is representing all over the world, right? But they do have that. And we also took a hot air balloon ride. Oh my gosh, the hot air balloon ride, I was scared to do it. My mom had to force me. My mom, I have to say, is more adventurous than I am. I have to say, she was like, Niger, you're going on this hot air balloon ride with me. And I'm like, what? It was part of like the, I guess say, electives of the things that you maybe wanted to do. And I was so scared. I was like, really? I don't want to go on a hot air balloon because I'm afraid of heights. So I was like, do I really want to do this? And I have to say, it was so picturesque because we went at sunrise. We had to get up early in the morning. And we were like up. I think we were like near Hatshepsut's temple, I think. And it was so awesome. It was so dope. And I was just like, wow. I have to
Going on our hot air balloon ride. This is so cool. Right by the Valley of the Kings.
I have to say, I wouldn't have taken anything for traveling with my mother. We just had the most wonderful time. She was a wonderful traveling buddy, and it was really nice. It was so picturesque being up in the sky, and it was amazing. It was amazing. So sometimes face your fear. My catchphrase, you never know unless you try. That's the way you have to feel about traveling different places. You never know unless you try, and you really could miss out on something just by fear. And that really showed me, go out on a limb, do something that you've never done, because you may like it. So that was really awesome. That was really dope. But I have to say, being in Egypt showed that we're not hated everywhere. There are some places where you do face prejudice because, the color of your skin. But then there are places that you really see things from a different perspective. And we talked to a younger Egyptian guy, I think he was Nubian, and he was saying that, the kind of like the ancestors there are people of color. And it was very eye-opening. It was very eye-opening. It was very educational. I would definitely recommend anybody to go to Egypt, especially my brothers and sisters out there, just to check it out, just to see it, get your experience, get your take about it. But it was nice. I hope I'm not leaving anything out. I'm not leaving anything out of the video, but anyway, definitely, again, like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Definitely, look at my Instagram page. I'm on Facebook, and I will see you guys later. Bye.